Please, allow me to show you something.
Welcome back to another episode of One Great Hand, where stars of the game talk us through one of their favourite hands of recent times, or indeed of all time. Here, Nick Sandqvist tells us about a fascinating hand, where an initial misstep is followed by the end play to end all end plays. Okay, so hi Nick. You're, I know, a New Tricks regular, and so it's always good to see you and have you chat about stuff. So you're going to tell us today about a hand that you particularly enjoyed and why you particularly enjoyed it.
Good morning, Sue. I mean, I wish we'd done this at a time where people are normally awake, but I'm going to try my best. A bit like yourself, I've never really played a good hand, but I've chosen this hand because of the situation and because the end game that comes up is rather amazing. I've never really seen anything like it before. Yeah, so this is from 2008, and I was playing with Artur Malinovsky on the Open England team, and it's the World Championships. I think it's called the Olympiad in those days in Beijing in China. And we played very well for about 10 days, and we actually made a final against Italy. So we're playing a 96 board final against Italy for the World Championship title. And this is one of the boards. East on my right opened 3 clubs. I passed and West passed. On my left is Alfredo Versace, and on my right is Lorenzo Lauria. So it's one of the best pairs in the world. And my partner Arthur doubles. And it goes pass from the opener, and I respond 3 diamonds, of course. It goes pass on my left, and Arthur bids 3 hearts, showing now quite a good hand with a 5-card heart suit. And I quite naturally convert that to 3 new trumps when it comes to me.
You say quite naturally. I mean, that does seem fairly bold to me.
Well, I have on this auction now, when he shows a good hand, I have enough to think we should try a game somewhere. So I have to do something over 3 hearts. And the most reasonable alternative easily is 3 new trumps. I could ask you what else you consider.
Well, I see your problem, but the worry would be with such tiny major suit cards that your one and only club stop's going to be knocked out at trick 1, and you just don't have 9 top tricks without losing.
That's always a concern, but you don't get anywhere in the game by being scared of everything. You have to push the boat out. And if we happen to make 3 new trumps and all partner needs is for me to have an ace and a club stop, then somebody has to bid it, and that's me. So I think that's pretty clear. So this concludes the auction. But while I think about it, at the other table, they didn't get to 3 new trumps. I can't remember exactly how it went, but our teammates had a really good result. They doubled something, I think 4 hearts, and took a nice penalty. So being in 3 new trumps had already won the board at this point, as it were. But now I had to try and make it. So Alfredo Versace on my left led the King of Spades. And this is a bit of a sensitive spade suit. I don't really know what's going on in the spade suit yet. I could have taken it, that would have been great, but I decided to duck in dummy to see what was happening, and East followed. And Alfredo on my left, he continued very quickly with his smaller spades. So now I had this nasty guess in the spade suit. I could have played small and cashed the singleton jack in the East hand, or I could have gone up with the ace and dropped the singleton jack, and both of those would have given me another spade stop and a very easy game. But I started the hand with a very poor judgment. I decided that I didn't want to be fooled by Alfredo if he had king queen jack to 5 and trying to con me a trick 2. So I tried to put in the 10 of spades. A very poor decision. So now Laurencio on my right won the jack, and he shifted to his singleton diamond. So I have to play small, and Versace won that and continued, of course, with the King of Spades. So now I was really upset with myself that I had started the hand so badly, and it really didn't look good. So I was sitting there being a little bit grumpy for a second. And then I thought, okay, well, I have to try and do the best. So I started cashing the hearts. After all, the hearts could be free if I'm lucky. Mm-hmm. So I took ace of hearts and king of hearts, and suddenly the 10 and the 9 dropped on my right from Laurencio. And now I woke up and I said, Okay, well, this is interesting because now I have a tennis in hearts in dummy. I have queen 8 left, and I have a tennis in diamonds in my hand. So if I put Versace on lead with the last spade, he has to give me a trick. He has to play a diamond back into my hand, and I make one extra trick. So that would give me 3 hearts, 2 clubs is 5, a spade is 6, and 2 diamonds is 8. So at least I could sort of save some face and go 1-off, I thought. But then I realized that maybe I could put him in some trouble. And now comes a very interesting situation. I decide at this point to take ace king of clubs.
Okay.
So I play a club to hand, and Versace on my left is forced to throw a diamond. And I play another club back to dummy, and Versace is forced to throw yet another diamond. So he's now left with the master spade, and only one in heart and only one in diamond. And now something very special happens, because now when I put him on lead, he has to return a red suit, and whichever red suit he returns gives me 2 tricks in the suit. And this is something I've never seen before. Usually when you put someone on lead, they have to concede 1 trick, by playing something. But here, whichever suit he returns, he concedes 2 tricks. And I thought that was absolutely fantastic. So I claimed after I put him on lead with the spade, and I made my 3 no trumps. So yeah, now it's coming back to me now. They took actually 500 at the other table, and I made 400 here. So we picked up 14.
Wonderful.
Yes, it really was wonderful.
Simultaneous double end play.
Yes,
Lovely.
yes, it was. That was amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. So for that reason, I included that hand because, well, I misplayed it, obviously. So.
But you chuckle now. You weren't chuckling at the time. I can see you.
After the hand, I was purring like a cat, obviously.
Exactly.
But after
and you still are. You clearly still are, like 14 years later.
Like a cat. You know me.
Yeah. Wonderful. That's great. So the Italians, your opponents, ended up being the subject of what became a long-running controversy.
Yeah, well, not all of them, obviously, but the Italians we played had a pair in their team called Fantoni and Nunes, and they were found to have been cheating a couple of years ago, something like 2018, 2019, like that, with Boye Brogeland exposing lots of really good pairs. And they were found to be guilty by the World Bridge Federation, and the federation decided to take away all the titles they had won, the Italians had won, with that pair in the team, but only for a 10-year period. And it so happens that 10-year period stopped just after the World Championships in Beijing. So I don't know if that was a fluke or if they looked at maybe me or some other English people and said that they can't be World Championships. We better put the time limit on this. But obviously, from my point of view, and obviously I've looked at all of those sports in the final so many times, and there are just too many things they get too right? So in my view, we won the World Championship in that year. So that's how I feel about it anyway. Now, to my mind, Fantoni and Nunes were a couple of fantastic bridge players, but nobody will remember that about them. The only thing they will be known for is that they were accused of cheating. So everything they did will be forgotten.
So just to continue the very nascent but developing tradition of asking people who do these interviews to tell me about a funny or surprising moment that they've encountered at the table.
I got loads of those. You know, I've been at this for quite a few years now, and I have so many funny stories, I don't even know where to start. But I'm going to tell you 2 little stories. They won't take too long. The first one is about a hand I played in the English trials, and I happened to be on the BBO table, so it was broadcast. Now, it was only a tiny little par score. It was a 3 diamond contract, but I did something that I thought was really, really nice. You see, I managed to get one opponent to cover a card, and that transferred the threat in that suit to his partner, who I could then squeeze and make my contract. Now, it may sound a little bit complicated, but it was beautiful and it felt fantastic, and it was only the only way to play the hand. So I was really excited about it. Only a par score, so no big deal. But I was so excited that when I came home that night, I went on to BBO and I looked in the archive to see the commentary, to see if the commentators had sort of praised the genius declare play by Sandqvist, or maybe, I don't know, nominated the hand for declare play of the century award or something like that. I was really excited. So I found it, and there were 2 commentators, and this is how it went. beginning of the hand, one of them says, this looks like a nothing hand, I'm going to go and get a coffee. During the hand, the other guy says nothing, and then the other guy comes back with his coffee at the end of the hand, and he says, did I miss anything? Nah, he just misplayed it.
Did you know those commentators personally? Did you have words?
I believe I knew them because I think I know most of them, yes. But this was a while ago, and I don't remember the names. I would never mention the names. But we all know that it is difficult to commentate. And one of the most difficult things for commentators is to avoid looking at all the hands and seeing things from one player's viewpoint. That's what's so difficult for them. So they very often come up with things like, oh, this is making now because hearts are 3-3. Yeah. You know that. And
the player doesn't know that.
Yeah. He doesn't know that. He may still take a finesse one way or the other. So, yeah. And the other story I'm going to finish with, I think it's hilarious. I was standing outside a playing venue in the old Easter Guardian many, many years ago, having my fag. And there was a couple next to me, and they were arguing. And he was saying to her, he said, every card I played told you to play a club. And she was responding, well, every card I played told you I didn't want to.
That's marvelous.
Can I do a little shout out, by the way? I would like to do a shout out.
Sure.
That's what it's called these days. And this is for a person who does an enormous amount of work for bridge, but never gets much praise. And that's you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I want to tell the people watching this video that what Sue does is not only produce all these videos for new tricks at a loss, I believe, not getting any profit from it, but she also organizes volunteers to go into primary schools and find the next generation of bridge players. And that is absolutely amazing. So praise to you, Sue, and thanks for all the hard work you're doing.
Thank you so much for that. And that is one bit of this interview I'm not going to edit out. Thank you very much, Nick. That's been fantastic. Lovely stories and a wonderful hand. And we will go and retrospectively appreciate your brilliant play in that 3-diamond contract. If I can find it in the Viewcraft archives, I'm going to look at it.
You're not going to find it. Too many years ago.
Okay. Thanks again, Nick.
All right. No problem.